Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Spanish with Mrs. Lorenzo. Today we're going to talk about verb to be in Spanish. How verb to be works in Spanish? Let me explain you how it happens. The first thing that you have to keep in your mind is that verb to be in English has two different verbs in Spanish. It means that we have two verbs for to be in Spanish instead of one, as we have in English. These verbs are ser and estar. They both mean to be, but they work in a different way. Before to start with the lesson today, remember to subscribe to my channel and activate the bell to get notifications. Let's see how those verbs work. Here we have verb to be in English language. So we have I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. To be is in its infinitive form. First person in the singular, second person in the singular, third person in the singular, first person in the plural, second person in the plural, and third person in the plural. Now, what are the uses for verb to be in English? What kind of expressions we can say using to be? Here we have a list of them. For location, to say when somewhere, someone or something is located. Age, how old is someone? Height and weight, physical characteristics, marital status, if someone is single or married or divorced, feelings and emotions, how do people feel, if you are happy, if you are sad, if Maria is angry, personality, if the subject is a smart person or a funny person or a grumpy person, and occupation, what people do for life. Maybe you are a doctor, or maybe you are just a student, but at a time you are a son, a daughter, a sibling, a friend. All of the kind of roles that you perform in your lives represent your occupation, guys. Now, here we have the difference between these two verbs that we have in Spanish. Once again, we have the conjugation of them in simple present tense. Here we have the verb ser, and here we have the verb estar. Ser works for permanent conditions of the subject, such as physical characteristics, height and weight, personality, and occupation. And estar, by its side, it works for temporary conditions of the subject, such as health conditions, feelings and emotions, marital status, location, with exceptions. We explain how to work Ser and Estar for location in a separate video. Down in the description of this video, I will leave you a link, and then you can find the specific information about how those two verbs work for location. And then the weather, once again, with exceptions. In a separate video, we are going to explain how Ser and Estar work for the weather. So for now, regarding location and the weather, just keep in your mind that sometimes in a specific context we use ser, and sometimes in a specific other context we use estar. Here we have the simple present tense of the verb ser. Before to move on its use and how we can express some thought with this verb, I would like to give you the information about its conjugation in simple present tense. For first person in the singular, yo soy, which means I am. Second person in the singular, you are, which means tú eres. Usted es, it is also second person in the singular, but don't forget, it works for formal conversations. If you don't remember that, go to the video when we explained how subject pronouns work. I will let you the link down there either. Then, él, ella es. He is, she is. Remember, we don't have a specific subject pronoun for it. Nosotros, nosotras somos. We are, that is masculine form and also combined feminine and masculine, and this is feminine form. Ustedes son, you guys, second person in the plural, are, for permanent conditions of the subject. Vosotros, vosotras sois. Remember, it is also second person in the plural, but when the conversation is informal. And then we have ellos, ellas, son. They are, third person in the plural. Ser represents the essential and permanent characteristics of the subject. But how do I know when a characteristic is a permanent condition? How can I make the difference between permanent or temporary? Well, when a condition can't be changed fast and easy, we consider that condition as a permanent condition of the subject. Let me give you an example. You don't wake up in the morning being blonde hair, then about 10 a.m. you change to dark hair, and then about noon your hair becomes just ginger, and then about 4 p.m. it becomes brown, and at night it becomes gray itself. It doesn't happen in that way. So the color of your hair is permanent. If you want to change it, you have to do something on it. When you get older, your hair, your color hair can change, but it takes a long time and a big effort. That's why we consider that kind of conditions as a permanent conditions of the subject. Let's take a look at some examples. How the verb ser works with some adjectives. Remember, adjectives are words to describe nouns. And also remember the color code that we have. Blue for the subject, red for the verb, and green for the predicate or for the complement of the sentence. On the first sentence, we say, Carlos es simpático. Carlos is nice. This is a permanent characteristic of Carlos. Simpático, nice, is an adjective that it is describing how is Carlos' personality. Yo soy simpática. I am nice. Simpática is describing myself, how I am. I am very nice. I am simpática. Tú eres pelirrojo. You who are watching this video are ginger hair. Rosa y Julio son inteligentes. Rosa and Julio are smart. Here we have some characteristics, personality, physical characteristics, and part of the personality also that describe these nouns. As all of those characteristics are permanent, we are using ser as a verb conjugated according to the subject as we just saw on the last slide. Let's see how it works on questions. ¿Cómo es el profesor? How is the professor? How is his personality? Él es bajo y gracioso. He is short and funny. ¿Cómo son Leticia y Diego? How are Leticia and Diego? How do they are? They are funny, they are angry, they are good people. Ellos son simpáticos. They are nice. Now, when your statement is a negative statement, a negative sentence, the only thing that you have to do is add no right before of the verb. This is the negative form in Spanish. This sentence says, I am not short, I am tall. No soy bajo, soy alto. Then you can ask, Mrs. Lorenzo, but there is not a blue color, so those sentences like they don't have a subject. They do. In Spanish, when the verb helps you to know who is the subject, we don't need the subject written in the sentence. Or we have it on a previous sentence, and the sentence that we are reading or we are talking about is clear about who is the subject. When the form of the verb is not shared with more than one subject, you can use just the verb on the sentence, and the verb is helpful enough to let you know who is the subject on the sentence. But when the verb can be confused, like son, remember, or es, this conjugation works for more than one subject pronoun, you must be clear on your sentence. So you have to have the subject written and clearly on your sentence. Here we have the verb estar. Verb to be, again in English, now estar. Yo estoy, it means I am for first person in the singular. Tú estás, you are first person in the singular. Usted está, once again, second person in the singular, but don't forget, when the conversation is formal. Él está, ella está. He is, she is, for temporary conditions of the subject. And don't forget, we don't have it as a subject pronoun in Spanish. Nosotros, nosotras, estamos. We are. First person in the plural. Nosotros for boys and for both genders together. Nosotras just for female. Ustedes están. You guys are. Second person in the plural. Vosotros, vosotras estáis. Once again, it means you guys are. It is second person in the plural, but when the conversation is informal. Ellos, ellas están. They are. Third person in the plural. Estar represents temporary characteristics of the subject. What is a temporary characteristic of the subject? Well, if I already know that permanent conditions or characteristic of the subject are those conditions that I cannot change fast and easy, temporary must be something that can change like this. For example, your feelings and emotions. Maybe now you are so happy because you're watching this video and you are sharing that time with me and I am teaching you something and you are learning something and you receive a phone call with a bad news and you become sad or angry. Like this, your feelings and emotions have changed. That condition is a temporary condition of the subject. Now, let's see some sentences with the verb estar. Oraciones con el verbo estar. About health conditions. Ella está enferma. She is sick. Estoy enfermo. I am sick. Feelings and emotions. María está enamorada. Mary is in love. Mis amigos y yo estamos felices. My friends and I are so happy. Marital status. Marta está soltera. Marta is single. Lucas está casado. Lucas is married. Maybe you can say, oh, Mrs. Lorenzo, but marital status should be something permanent because to change it entails a kind of long time and a big effort. That's true. But in general, when we talk about marital status of someone, most of the time we use estar instead of ser. It doesn't mean that if you use ser, you are going to be wrong. You can use ser. But estar is more common. So it is the verb that is used the most when we say or we talk about marital, marital status of someone. Excuse me. Location. Él está en clases. Él no está en clases. He is in class. He is not in class. Remember, we have a specific video about location. That specific item has an exception. In some specific contexts, we use ser, but just to teach you a little example about location using estar, I am giving to you these two sentences. The weather. El clima está frío. El clima está húmedo. The weather is cold. The weather is humid. Once again, in a separate video, we are going to talk about how verbs ser and estar work for the weather. Sometimes we use ser. But for now, just let me give you these two sentences as examples to understand how estar works for the weather. In summary, verb to be. We have two verbs in Spanish, ser and estar. Ser works for permanent conditions of the subject, and estar works for temporary conditions of the subject. Verb ser is used for physical characteristics, height and weight, personality and occupation, and estar is used for health conditions, feelings and emotions, marital status, location with exceptions, and the weather with exceptions. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope that this video likes you. If it does, please give me a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe and to activate the bell to give notifications. I'm glad to see you. Have a very nice day. Adios.